Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is to get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news that data's a bit shaky today and the way forward less clear and uncertainties rise. American mortgage application levels fell less than expected last week, but that still takes them to their lowest level since 1998. This trade survey shows the benchmark 30-year fixed mortgage interest rate rose to 7.16% plus points, their highest since 2001. So it will be no surprise that new home sales fell 11% from year-ago levels. There's small comfort that this fall is less than expected. The prior month's rise was clearly an outlier and the downward trend remains. Building consent levels in the US stabilised, however, even if at a low level. And rising imports and soft export levels took the US merchandise trade deficit to $99.6 billion. And while that may not be great for them, their import engine sustains the core global international trade. Their overall deficit will run at about 3% of GDP this year. And the Bank of Canada raised the target for its overnight rate by 50 basis points to 3.75%, which was less than the 75 basis points expected. Still, it was the sixth consecutive rate hike there, pushing their borrowing costs to their highest since 2008. In China, parts of the city of Wuhan are under lockdown again as Omicron cases start to spread there. And Singapore's industrial production stalled again in September in an unexpected pullback because a modest rise was expected after a set of recent months that were weak. And the Australian CPI inflation rate climbed to more than expected to 7.3% in the third quarter from 6.1% in the second quarter, and well above market forecasts of 6.9%. This was their highest level since the second quarter of 1990, boosted by prices for new housing construction, petrol and food. Prices for food rose the most since the second quarter of 1983, up 9%. And the US Treasury 10-year yield starts today down 7 basis points at 4.02%. And the price of gold will open today at $1,667 an ounce. This is up $13 from this time yesterday. And oil prices start today $3 firmer than this time yesterday at just under $88 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is now just over $94 a barrel. But the natural gas price continues to fall as it becomes clearer that Europe will have more than enough supplies for this winter. And Germany is on target to avoid using any Russian gas. And the Kiwi dollar will open today at 58.3 US cents and almost a cent higher than this time yesterday. Against the Australian dollar, we're marginally softer at 89.8 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're a little firmer at 57.9 euro cents. That all means our trade weight index starts today at 68.2 and 40 basis points firmer than this time yesterday. Get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz.